So I'm Emma Wilkins, and I work for an insurance company. I'm partner operations director and have a couple of different responsibilities. So I look after partner managers and the claims function. And really, I guess the biggest part of my role is around relationship management and ensuring that things run as smoothly as possible and working with people to get the best outcome all round. I just knew, Leela, I just knew I wanted to do it. So I actually just went with my gut on it and I was just like, no, this is the one that I want to do. I don't need to look around. I know this is what I want to do. My reasons for joining, I've wanted to do this program for quite some time. I've really been interested in coaching for a long time, and I've kind of skirted around it. And I looked at it a couple of years ago, and it finally felt like the right time. And the reason being is that we were going through some really big changes at work, some big organisational changes. And on top of the past year with everything that's been going on with COVID and everyone being in lockdown, it felt like the right time to not only understand the principles more deeply for myself, but also to be able to learn how to communicate that better to other people. I love the fact that we meet regularly, and it always feels like it comes just at the right time. So that's really good. And I've really enjoyed having the sort of couple of people coming in to speak, because again, it just brings whole different dynamics to it. I love it. I love the way that it flows. It just gave me an opportunity to really explore it in more detail, because it's all very well reading books and going to the conferences and stuff, but actually I think it's in these types of conversations that you really start to feel it more. I really like the size of the group. I would think it wouldn't work so well if it was bigger. Actually, I think the size works nicely, because it gives. So, for example, if we had the check-ins and it was a bigger group, we would need to have longer check-ins, because you wouldn't get around everyone. I really recognised that my head was very busy, and I think that's one of the things that I'm becoming much more aware of because of this course, is to really notice when my thinking is fast. So as I was walking around, I recognised that, and just by really seeing it, it started to slow down, and it allowed me to appreciate just how beautiful everything was around me. And everything, so then I felt like I was much more connected to what was going on, and then it wasn't so busy or overwhelming anymore, and everything seems more possible and doable. And there are some days when I don't have that, but they don't last for that long, and I'm okay when I don't have that, because I know that it will change. My understanding has hugely affected how I've dealt with it. Like, even though I've had my emotional ups and downs with it, I mean, I've actually been asked to stay because I'm the only person who's in this position who has, let's put my words, used, sort of handled it with grace and dignity. Because even though it's had, I was going to say a negative impact. Initially, it felt like it was a negative impact. I actually don't feel like it is now. What I have been able to do is sit back and see when my thinking is getting in the way, and when I get wrapped up in it's all about me. And it's helped me see that in other people. And because of that, I've actually just been able to almost, not always, but mostly watch it happen and and not be consumed by it. And I honestly believe that if this had happened 3 years ago, I think I wouldn't have known what to do. And I still don't know what to do, but I'm okay with it. And that's the difference. I know that it's not the right thing for me. And I have to do what's right for me. And ultimately, what's right for me is to leave. And if that's right for me, it'll be right for the business. The thing, I guess, things that have surprised me is I'm actually way more capable and confident than I ever gave myself credit for. And the only person that ever stops me is me. And I don't think that, I know I've kind of always seen that, but now I really know it. And knowing that has just really allowed me to be a bit bolder. The thing that I've really noticed is my habitual thought. Those real yeah, this is the same thing. And where I switch my listening off. That's where I've really noticed the difference. I really enjoy the 3-day retreats because I think it gives us an opportunity to explore things in more depth. And just having those three days together, you kind of, and obviously with the break in between, so you have the mornings, it just gives it time to sort of sink in and see what comes out. I feel like that after the 3 Ps conference, I always come away just like,